there you see Rhea Ripley, and look, Rhea Ripley has been thinking for 227 days about losing the NXT Women's title at WrestleMania. Wade, you can relate to Rhea, the pressure of being champion heading into WrestleMania.
Well, I hate to play down my own experience, but what Rhea did at this past WrestleMania is beyond comparison. She was the first person to represent the NXT brand on the biggest stage of all. The weight on her shoulders was immense, and the disappointment of losing must have been soul-crushing. I really feel for her.
And this has been a climb back for Rhea Ripley, who has had to go through Raquel Gonzalez, the Robert Stone brand. The list goes on, Beth, to get back to this moment, a championship matchup.
I mean, I think you gotta zoom out here a little bit. Last year at this time, Rhea Ripley was the hottest talent in all of NXT, and I would argue she's right back on that path to regaining that title.
And there comes the genius of the sky. We heard from Beth earlier, Beth Phoenix, WWE Hall of Famer, picking Rhea Ripley. Many of the WWE legends and Hall of Famers and NXT superstars split. Wade, who is your pick to walk out tonight with the gold?
I could talk for Britain about these two ladies. I could literally fill up the rest of the show telling you how great each of them are. The truth is, when it comes to these two against each other, it is a coin flip. I literally couldn't decide. If I have to go with one, I'm going to go with Io Shirai on the basis that she is a champion. But for me, it is 50-50.
And think about this before the bell. It's not often the champion calls out the challenger. Io Shirai wanted to face the best. She called out Rhea Ripley. That's what's led us to this NXT TakeOver-worthy main event here live inside the Capitol Wrestling Center.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Women's Championship! Introducing the challenger from Adelaide, South Australia, Rhea Ripley! Her opponent from Tokyo, Japan, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai!
Here we go, guys. NXT Women's Championship.
Hey, wait for my bell, ladies. Hey, wait for my bell. Hey,
Ripley and Shirai. Now, we heard, Wade, why you picked Io Shirai. Beth, why have you chosen Rhea Ripley?
You know, I haven't been quiet about the fact that I feel like Rhea Ripley is a game-changing female athlete. But I mean, let's look at last year, the Royal Rumble, War Games, Survivor Series. Rhea Ripley dominated across all three brands, and I feel that she is on her path to recapturing that one more time, that magic.
Power up front by Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I don't think we needed it reinforced, but Rhea Ripley clearly the powerhouse in this matchup, but perhaps Io Shirai a little faster.
Well, Shirai showing no fear against the Nightmare. And there's no doubt in this matchup, Beth, Rhea Ripley will have the strength advantage.
Well, you know, you mentioned it earlier that Shirai actually called out Rhea Ripley, wanting to validate that she is the greatest female wrestler in the world.
Let's take a look at Io Shirai. I mean, no doubt. Io Shirai has made the NXT Women's Division hers. Sasha Banks, Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, the list goes on. Those who have fallen to Io Shirai. Is Rhea Ripley going to be next on that list as Shirai stops on the middle turnbuckle, charges in, gets caught. Power again on display by Ripley. And what goes up must come down, but it's Shirai going from behind, looking for a pin. Too much power from Rhea Ripley. And guys, it has been a busy night here for our backstage correspondent, Mackenzie Mitchell, who I believe is standing by with an update on Finn Balor.
Vic, the big question all night, where is the NXT champion Finn Balor? I can now confirm he will be arriving in just a few minutes and will address the NXT universe immediately following the Women's Championship match.
Well, that is huge news. The Prince is on his way, but right now on her way out of the ring was Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, taking a horrible spill to the outside there. Beautiful kick from Io Shirai. Io Shirai looking to capitalize.
Oh, was not able to. Quickly, the door shuts with a forearm from Ripley. And Beth, it's important to note, Rhea Ripley, this is her first one-on-one championship match since WrestleMania.
Rhea Ripley trying to get her footing once again. You see this.
Absolute nasty drop. Don't miss a second of this championship match. Back live inside the Capitol Wrestling Center, NXT Women's Championship on the line. Rhea Ripley has been in control, but guys, let's go back to what happened before the commercial break between these two women in this championship matchup. This was right before the commercial break. Take a look at the awkward landing, Beth, of the champion.
You see Io Shirai's chin and jaw hit the corner of the apron there. Dropped hard. Io's been struggling to recover ever since.
Medical team did come out, checked on Io Shirai. She has been cleared to continue in this contest as Rhea Ripley again planting the champion center of the ring. And Ripley's strength now coming into play.
Yeah, this is Ripley's time to take advantage. Clearly, there was a weakness there with Io Shirai, something not quite right with her during the commercial break, and now she's capitalizing.
Again, cleared by the medical team to continue. Had a chance to talk to Rhea Ripley about the pressure entering tonight's matchup. She said the pressure is mental. As long as you stay prepared, there is no pressure. And right now, it's Rhea Ripley in control inside cradle. Champion looking for the pinfall. Ripley rolls back, and again, the strength on display from the Nightmare, who hoisted plants the champion.
Just so much lower body strength.
Covered by Ripley for the championship, and the champion kicks out. So close, Beth. Rhea Ripley to becoming a two-time women's champion here at NXT.
You know, and Vic, when you mentioned pressure earlier, I think there's more pressure coming in on the champion in this situation. And speaking of champions, Finn Balor has arrived to the Capitol.
Balor indeed, Beth, has arrived. Balor is going to address the NXT Universe at the conclusion of this matchup. The champion's here. The Prince has arrived.
Oh, wow, he's looking good, too. 100%.
And back to live action, Beth, where Rhea Ripley really now controlling the pace of this matchup.
Rhea Ripley looking to grind down Io Shirai, keep her grounded, eliminate her aerial game. That would be her best chance at regaining the NXT Women's Championship.
Ripley trying to hold on, but Io Shirai fighting through, and of course, Shirai's been through all sorts of battles in her career. But right now it is an uphill battle against a superstar of the caliber of Rhea Ripley.
You're completely right, Vic. She is fighting from underneath all the way in this one. Desperation times perhaps for the champion. Never has her grip on that women's championship been so loose.
And again, it's Io Shirai, Beth, who said she wanted to face the best. She challenged Rhea Ripley to this matchup.
Again, Shirai looking to validate that she is the greatest female wrestler of all time. In trouble right here, precariously perched on the top rope.
Genius of the Sky able to slip down, could be looking for a power bomb. Oh, Ripley punched the turnbuckle. Shirai trying to take advantage of the situation. Champion charging right back in. German suplex! Huge opportunity now, Beth, for Io Shirai to get back into this matchup.
Rhea Ripley landed hard in the center of the ring. Let's take one more look at this quick movement from Shirai. Boom! German suplex. 3/4 of the ring. Now Shirai slow to move.
When you take
crawling toward her opponent.
And Beth, when you take a look at the career of Io Shirai, some would say she fights as a disciplined risk taker. Certainly took one moments ago. And charging in with a back elbow. Io Shirai now trying to follow up on Rhea Ripley. Shirai, does she have enough strength to hoist up Ripley?
Well, this audience is on their feet.
Whoa.
And somehow landing on her feet was Io Shirai that once again somehow finding a second wind after the beating she's received. Oh.
Double stomp to the midsection. And Io Shirai driving the air from the lungs of Ripley. Charging in, another kick right to the face. Champion into the cover to retain her gold, and Ripley powers out.
Well, Io Shirai somehow, someway ascending to a position of dominance in this match. And look at the ear of Rhea Ripley busted wide open.
And now it's Shirai looking for a crossface. The champion's locked in a crossface. Look at the pain on the face of Ripley.
Wow, the tables have turned massively here as we take another look at these 2 feet right to the face, to the jaw, to
Wait a
the
minute,
nose.
shoulders are down. Ripley rolls through, kick out by Shirai. And Shirai had to relinquish the crossface. But what a massive boot by the challenger.
While these 2 ladies are dropping the heavy artillery on each other, such is the desire for Rhea Ripley to become champ. Such is the desire for Io Shirai to retain.
And Beth, No backing down in the champion, hyperextending the left elbow. Look at Shirai now, Beth, taking it to Rhea Ripley.
Shirai looking to injure that arm so Ripley can't lift Shirai.
And a smart strategy by the champion. We talked about her ability to adapt, Beth.
And take away Ripley's greatest offense, which is to her power maneuvers to pick you up and throw you.
And Shirai with another drop kick. And you got to think now, Rhea Ripley losing her strength, possibly not able to even connect with the riptide later on in this matchup.
Straight back to that left elbow. I'm going to tell you, I've smashed my left elbow in the ring once before. I was out of commission for 6 months, required surgery. And you've got to feel for Rhea Ripley right now.
Ripley swinging a miss, and Io Shirai continuing to physically dissect Rhea Ripley.
Oh, we're going to up close and personal here. You hear Rhea Ripley screaming in agony like I've never heard her before.
Pulling on that delicate ball joint of the shoulder can separate those tendons very easily.
Oh, and trying to swing is Rhea Ripley, but not a lot behind that right hand. Shirai now answering back. These women battling for the NXT Women's Championship. Nasty landing for the challenger. Champion is in control. And Io Shirai continuing to punish, continuing to focus as Ripley into the steel steps. Back on NXT Live, women's title on the line, Rhea Ripley superplex. And guys, think about this matchup. Io Shirai was so close to not being medically cleared, was able to continue as now a one-armed Rhea Ripley crawls into the cover for the women's title, and Shirai kicks out. I mean, the tide has turned in this matchup, which you could deem as one of the most physically dominated matches, physically competitive matches in this brand's history in the women's division.
Well, we saw Finn Balor is turning up later tonight after the conclusion of this matchup. His match with Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver 31 was one of the most brutal matches I have ever seen. This match right now is matching it blow for blow.
In the NXT universe, in this matchup, you can just feel the energy inside the Capitol Wrestling Center for this championship contest. Shirai and Ripley. Right now, Beth, they are laying it all on the line.
I mean, how tough are these two women to continue to get up after the brutality that they've handed one another? These strikes from Io Shirai.
Oh, what about the knee strikes now by the challenger repeatedly into the side of the face? Snapmare takedown. Ripley, Shirai in her sights. Drop kick right to the shoulder. And again, Ripley blocking out the pain to make the cover, and Shirai kicks out.
Still in agony is Rhea Ripley, attacking with her notorious, malicious brutality that she's known for.
Look, wait, this is everything Rhea Ripley has thought about since WrestleMania last year, being the first superstar to ever defend an NXT championship on the grandest stage of them all. This is the moment she has been fighting for, clawing for, and now with one arm, trying to bend Io Shirai.
Oh, we've seen her win with this before, the inverted cloverleaf.
Center of the ring, Io Shirai, the pain shooting through her body.
Well, Io Shirai completely off the ground right now. Such is the strength of Rhea Ripley, spinning that vortex.
And Rhea Ripley really doing this with one arm. Plant Shirai, and now on the ground, Beth, transitioning into the submission.
Brilliant strategy right here, taking the pressure off of her own left clavicle to be able to keep Shirai into that hold despite the damage done to her own shoulder.
And you can hear Shirai screaming in pain. The champion so close, can see the bottom rope. Can Shirai crawl and get to the bottom rope to break the hold?
Well, we've talked about the size difference between these two competitors. Never has it been more advantageous to Rhea Ripley than right now.
Oh, Shirai able to get to the bottom rope. And Rhea Ripley finally breaking the hold.
But is the damage done? Clutching her right shin, her right ankle, right knee is Io Shirai. Cannot get to her feet. Assisted up by
Wait a minute,
Rhea
Ripley now could be looking for the riptide. Up goes Shirai. Shirai counters. Shirai looking for the armbar. Remember the injured shoulder of Rhea Ripley. And now Io Shirai trying to lock in the armbar, looking for a submission. Ripley trying to block.
Ripley desperately clinging onto those fingertips. If this opens up, she's going to have a snapped arm, and this one will be over.
Ripley trying to roll through, shoulders down of the champion. Shirai, no way. Rhea Ripley with all her power planning, but no. Shirai still holding on, and now the armbar cinched in.
Wow, the tables turn on this one, but Rhea Ripley, we talked about the size of Rhea Ripley, that longer frame, able to reach that rope with her feet.
Good. And Rhea Ripley, just by her big toe, able to break that hold.
But guys, the damage done, I mean, Rhea looks hurt.
Well, both these women, Beth, have been through a battle, and now, oh, swing and a miss by Shirai. Trying a second time, doesn't connect.
Ripley had both of those moves scouted.
Oh, look at the strikes by the champion.
Ripley almost out cold now.
What is it going to take for one of these two women to walk away with the gold? Oh, the kick connects.
Ripley's a sitting duck.
Fake kick across the face. It's Shirai climbing where she feels most comfortable, in the air. She needs to the sky, looking to fly. Missile drop kick. Shirai to retain her title. Into the cover. Ripley kicks out at 2.
Well, this entire audience on their feet. They know they are witnessing history. Two ladies putting it all on the line in pursuit of the Women's Championship here in NXT.
Shirai with Ripley in her sights. These two women laying it all on the line tonight. Double knees connect. And we've seen Io Shirai. We know what's coming next.
Here we go, the moonsault beats everybody. Have you ever seen Rhea Ripley in such a mess?
Shirai, oh, able to counter. Able to get back to her feet, charges back in, and then got taken out by Ripley. Ripley wisely, quickly, cover, title on the line, and Shirai kicks out again.
Just a baseball bat clothesline to the jaw of Io Shirai, turning her inside out as we check back to see a rebound.
Bam!
The impact turning Io Shirai a full 360.
And then, Beth, you heard Rhea Ripley screaming. The frustration building, but Beth is a former women's champion. Rhea's got to keep her composure.
Ripley has been thinking about this moment ever since that title slipped through her fingers at WrestleMania. She is focused.
And again, it's now Ripley looking for the riptide, which has brought her gold in the past. Up a DDT! What a counter by Shirai!
Spiked on the top of her head was Rhea Ripley. Second time she's gone for that riptide. Second time, Io Shirai had it scouted and had the wherewithal to get herself out of there.
This is our main event, the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Champion Io Shirai, challenger Rhea Ripley. And speaking of champions, we will hear from Finn Balor immediately at the conclusion of this matchup, which has been nothing short of brutal. Is now Shirai charging in. Oh! Wait a minute, wait!
Oh!
My word, how on earth is this match still going? How on earth did Io Shirai lift Rhea Ripley, powerbomb her through our table?
Both these women showing you the heart of a champion.
One more look here. Io Shirai able to telegraph the motion, sending Ripley flying, decimating that desk. And
But
Ripley,
Beth and Wade, hold on a second. I'm sorry to cut you off, Beth, but the referee is at 5. The only way the only way Rhea Ripley can win the gold, she's got to break the count. She's got to get back into the ring. Referee is at 8. Referee's knocking on 9, and Rhea Ripley just breaks the count.
Wow, but out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Over the moonsault! Shirai connects. Shirai into the cover. Hook of the leg, and Shirai retains.
Here is your winner, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai.
Hats off to both these women who just, Beth, and I hate to say it again, laid it on the line for the right to be called champion.
my God, Vic, I don't think either one of these women will ever be the same after this night. What a matchup. Let's take one more look at a critical moment. Again, you see here Io Shirai telegraphing the maneuver. Ripley struggling to hang on. But this moment would create the space that Shirai so desperately needed.
Certainly able to create a lot of chaos. Rhea Ripley just able to break the count. And then, how smart of Io Shirai. Up to the top rope immediately over the moonsault. It connects, and Io Shirai's reign continues in the NXT Women's Division. Take another look. Boom!
Every single lady in that locker room has to be thinking to themselves, my word, if I want that championship, that's what I've got to put myself through.
Hats off to both these women.